Games, they've been at the very core of my skill set my entire life. I loved it ever since I got into Dune 2 and the original Warcraft when I was a kid. And a little while later I played Doom, and it gave me such nightmares, but I realized how cool is that? Someone's vision, something that they thought of and wrote, and they put pixels on a screen and some sound effects and allowed me to interact with them. That had such a profound influence on my psyche that I couldn't sleep. It blew my mind. So I've always wanted to get into games, but I'm from South Africa and there's not a really big games industry locally. There are a few companies now, but they definitely weren't around when I started out. So I've been building the skill set through the years. I've been pushing myself to get better at writing and programming, etc. And now I'm at that point. I'm officially kicking off on my first project. So what kind of game am I building? Well, that's been a journey. I have a Trello board with more than 100 ideas, and these range from Flappy Bird clones to games that I would need an entire studio to make that are basically would run like Assassin's Creed or Tomb Raider. And I obviously knew that that's not feasible. I should start with the easy stuff. So a couple of years ago, I've already been dabbling and sort of playing and making the Flappy Bird clones and such, but I always lose interest because I keep sitting there and I'm going, I'm not a fan of Flappy Bird. It's not like I've never been a casual gamer. I love stories and I love worlds. So I would always sit there and I'd develop it and it would work and I'd be like, well, this is shit. I'm just not passionate about it. So then I dropped the project. So I needed to find that balance of something that could be feasible for me to make on my own with loads and loads of work after hours and on weekends, because I do have a full-time job and this is just a fun side project. But at the same time, I couldn't make it as cool as I wanted to. So I needed to rein myself back, and I started looking at games from sort of the late 90s and early 2000s that I thought I could feasibly redo with the cool tech that we've got today, right? We've got 3D applications, we've got Unreal Engine or Unity if you so choose. And I eventually locked on one of my old favorites, which was Diablo 2. Why make a clone? Why not try and make something new? Well, frankly, because it's daunting as hell. And if I can minimize the amount of decisions that I need to make down the line, I have a higher probability of actually pushing this thing out and finishing it. So instead of trying to revolutionize the way games work and all of that, I'll leave that for when this can become a more full-time endeavor. So the project is called From Soil. That is my working title. It's set in prehistory Southern Africa, or at least a mythical and magical reimagining of it. My emphasis would be to sort of have the natural beauty of the Southern African landscapes, deserts, savannas, mountain ranges, and the story chronicles the tale of 5 little girls who got stuck with the job of protecting their village. All the men were fighting a war, and they got magically imbued with some extra strengths, sort of boosting them based on their personality types. And for one of them, it's a horrible coming-of-age story. For the other, it's more of a monster in the house story, etc. So the main focus of my game is that these 5 characters will be tied to your 5 different player types. One will be sort of your magic user kite character, one will be your tank brute, we'll have the assassin style character, we'll have the necromancer style character, etc. And what I really want to achieve with this is bring it to a point where for the player, it would actually be really valuable to play as all 5 characters. It will give you a more complete idea of the story, and each one's story will be fairly unique, possibly also access to unique areas. So I think that's going to be really interesting, and I'm going to start uploading more content on this soon. This is a part-time project. I won't have tons of hours to throw at it, but I'm still really excited about it. So look out for the cool new content and see you then.